Cannons are back on the battlefield as history buffs reenact war scenes from their favourite disputes. The fighting isn't real, of course, but these replica cannons aren't fake either. They can do everything the originals could do. So let's light the fuse, stand back, and see how they're made. On the front line of any war reenactment, you'll find the big guns, the cannons. Built to various scales with all the original details, these replicas have real firepower. For safety reasons, they don't load actual cannonballs into the muzzles, just black powder. It's traditionally been used to shoot cannonballs, but even on its own, it still makes firing a cannon a real blast. Production starts with wooden moulding boxes that have a cannon shape inside. There's a top half and a bottom one. Together, they're known as the pattern. They fill each box with lake sand that's been laced with bonding chemicals. The sand is soft and warm at this point. They pack it down and level it off. As the sand cools, the bonding agents cause the sand to solidify. This sand mould will be used for casting the cannon. While the other half is completed, they brush an alcohol-based wash into all the crevices of the first sand mould. But they don't just leave it to dry. Instead, they ignite it. The fire burns off the alcohol, leaving a protective skin on the mould that will prevent seepage of the molten casting material into the sand. Glue is then run around the border of the cannon mould. The other half of the mould has now taken shape and goes through the same alcohol wash process. Using a crane, the team carefully aligns the two sand moulds. The glue cures and the mould is ready to receive the casting material, iron. Molten iron is poured into a large ladle. Then they transfer the fiery liquid to the sand mould and pour it inside. The iron cools in the mould for about 6 hours, and then the liquid metal solidifies. Then it's into a shot blast chamber, so named because there's steel shot inside. Tiny pellets inside the chamber bombard the sand mould and break it up. A vacuum sucks the sand and steel shot out of the chamber, leaving the solid cast iron cannon. A worker slices off unwanted gating, which was formed as the iron flowed into the mould. One section served as a reservoir to compensate for shrinkage as the iron solidified. That too is removed. He then grinds the casting seam until smooth. At the finishing factory, a lubricating mix of water and oil flows from a drill bit as it bores into the centre of the solid cannon casting. The operator switches bits twice for a gradual widening of the cavity, taking it to a precise dimension. Here's a peep down the cannon's newly bored muzzle. With the nose of the muzzle now protected by plastic, he pours an epoxy adhesive into the barrel. He then inserts a steel liner. The liner is a modification to the original design, a safeguard that will help the cannon better withstand the pressure of ignition. The cannon turns on a lathe, and this action drives the steel liner completely down the barrel. It also spreads the epoxy evenly for a good seal. A carbide bit moves down the spinning cannon to taper the exterior. He grinds the area between the trunnions, protrusions that fit into the corresponding grooves on the gun carriage. He stamps the maker's mark into the metal, and then sprays solvent-based primer onto the entire cannon, followed by 3 coats of black paint. From start to finish, it's taken about 8 days to produce this full-scale replica. It's now ready for a test fire. Cover your ears. There. A blast from the past brought bang up to date.